Okay, good evening all of you. Today we are going to discuss education in BNN. When it comes to education, the planet here, Mercury, we have to take. From Mercury, we have to check in 159, 3711, 212. If there is a Jupiter. From Mercury, Jupiter is in 159, 3711, 212, then we can say the native will be highly educated or very talented. If Mercury is aspected by Jupiter or Mercury is conjoined with Jupiter and Mercury is associated with Jupiter in 2nd house or in 12th house, definitely the native will be highly educated. And this is the first rule. So we have to check from Mercury in our horoscope. So for example, your Mercury is posited in Gemini itself, for example. The owner of Gemini is, the disposer of Gemini is Mercury. So Mercury is in Gemini itself. From Gemini, Mercury friends we have to check out. Mercury friends, who are the Mercury friends? Mercury friend is Venus and the Sun, Jupiter and Rahu. For example, Mercury is posited in Gemini in your horoscope. Just imagine. So supposing Mercury is posited in Gemini, and in the 2nd house there is Venus, and in the 12th house there is Sun, and Rahu is also in the 2nd house. So then we can say Mercury is associated with Rahu. Mercury is here connected with Jupiter in the 2nd, Venus in the 2nd house, and 12th house there is Sun, and 7th house, for example, in the 7th house Jupiter is there. Then we can predict that the native will be highly educated and talented. So we have to check Mercury is strong or not. We have to check. Mercury will be strong if it is associated with its friends Rahu, Bhahu Vidya Yoga, and Jupiter, Bhahu Vidya Yoga, and Venus, highly educated. So higher knowledge. Venus gives higher knowledge, and Sun, success in education. Sun gives success in education, and Jupiter gives highest degree. So that's why the native even can study Ph.D. also. So we will discuss individually. Just I am giving an example. So first, whether the native will be highly educated or not, let us discuss, and later we will discuss whether the native is uneducated or not. We can discuss. So from Mercury, Jupiter is in 159, 3711, 212. Then the native will be highly educated. This is the first one. And in the similar way, as we have discussed, if Mercury is connected to Sun, I have just told you, Sun is here success in education, educational success. If Mercury is associated with Sun, the native will succeed. Whatever examination is going to appear, he will definitely pass. So Sun is here passing an examination, success in examination. And when it comes to Venus, Venus is here, it gives higher knowledge. Suppose somebody wants to do at least post-graduation, definitely Venus should be connected to Mercury. Then only he will be able to pursue higher studies. Venus gives higher studies because Venus gives higher knowledge. If Mercury is associated with Venus, so Venus is here higher knowledge. And when it comes to Jupiter, respectable position in education. When do you get respect generally? If you study post-graduation, if you invent something, if you discover something. So when a person discovers something or invents something or do research on a particular subject or a topic, then only he will be given doctorate, PhD. So that's why the native may become even scientist or PhD holder, so a research scholar. So that's why Jupiter is necessary for that. And so success in education, we can predict that Mercury, Sun, Venus, Jupiter. And moreover, we can also add here, we can also add Rahu. Rahu is Bhahu Vidya Yoga. So Rahu is actually research, invention. And generally, when we invent something, when we discover something, when we do research on a particular subject, we will be held in high esteem, we will be respected because of Jupiter. But if you want to do research, if you want to invent something, if you want to discover something, we need Rahu. Rahu is a planet of invention. Rahu is a planet of discovery. So that's why the native will become scientist only if Mercury is associated with Sun success, Venus higher education, higher knowledge, and Jupiter is here higher education and highest degree, and Rahu is research oriented education. So research scholar, scientist. So if somebody wants to become success, somebody wants to get success in education, Mercury should be associated with the Sun or Venus or Jupiter, Rahu. Individually, all planets may not be associated with Mercury. Mercury is with Sun success, Mercury is with Venus higher education, Mercury is with Jupiter highest degree, and Mercury is with Rahu. Mercury is with Jupiter, Mercury is with Rahu, Bhahu Vidya Yoga. Rahu is Bhahu, many. So the native will get Bhahu Vidya Yoga, and the native will get distinction or ranks in examination. First question, whoever comes, sir, my son is preparing for NEET. Will he become doctor or not? So does he have talent or not? Can he get highest score or not? Like this, these questions generally posed by the queries, whoever comes, the clients. Our clients will pose such questions. So then we have to answer, if Mercury is conjoined with Sun, Venus, Jupiter, Rahu, then we can predict, yes, your son will get highest rank, no doubt. He will get seat in NEET, or he will get seat in engineering, whatever it may be, IIT, or suppose IIT aspirants and medical, these NEET aspirants, then we can say. Even some people will come, sir, I want to pass, I want to get highest score in civil examination, civil services. Will I get or not? So we have to check. Mercury is with the Sun, Mercury is with Venus, Mercury is with Jupiter, Mercury is with Rahu. Then we can say, yes, you will get distinction. So Manojji, in your horoscope, you are an IARS officer and IPS also you passed. So here Mercury, Sun, Venus, and Jupiter, Rahu. So your Mercury is associated in your horoscope. Already we have checked your horoscope previously. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, like this, we have to predict the native will get highest ranks and highly educated or not. How can we predict? Mercury is with which planets? We have to check. If Mercury is with friendly planets like Sun, Venus, Jupiter, Rahu, then the native will definitely get higher education. They will be highly educated, no doubt. And next. So what we have discussed earlier in the second principle, again we are discussing, but with a yoga, we are talking here yoga. Bahu Vidya Yoga, more than 2 decades. Some people will study, you see, engineering and MBA and astrology and other yoga courses. Like this, multi-psychology. Actually, psychology is not related to engineering, but they may study psychology, they may study Vasthu, they may study like astrology. So they will have one minute. Hello. Yeah, Manoj, can you hear me? So this is Bhahu Vidya Yoga. Hello, can you hear me? Once, talk to me. Hello. Anybody, Manojji and other people. Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to plug in. That's why power.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So Bahu Vidya Yoga. Bahu Vidya Yoga means here the native will study more than 2 degrees. So 2 graduations becomes. So some people will study engineering and later MS, and then if they are interested, they will study like psychology or Vasthu or like the astrology. So the people will have here more than 2 degrees, 2 graduations. And here the combination will be here, you see, Mercury is with Rahu. Mercury is education, Rahu is actually multi. So multi courses of education the native will study. In the similar way, Mercury is education, Jupiter is here also. Jupiter also expands our knowledge. So this is also just like it will also, Jupiter will also work like Rahu. It will expand. So that's why Mercury Rahu also Bahu Vidya Yoga. So if Jupiter aspects Mercury or Mercury is conjoined with Jupiter, then this is also called Bahu Vidya Yoga. These 2 yogas, whoever has these 2 yogas definitely will get highest score in the examinations. Next, research and PhD, just we have discussed here. So if somebody wants to do PhD, same combination as we discussed earlier. Mercury should be connected with the sun. Sun is here exposure. So is whatever research the native will do should have some exposure. So then only he will be awarded like a PhD or doctorate, whatever you call it. And Venus is here higher knowledge, and Jupiter is here highest degree, and Rahu is here. Generally, Rahu denotes research, invention, and discovery. That's why these people will study definitely complete PhD. So these people will become scientists also. They will become scientists. So if you check the scientist horoscope, Mercury is connected with Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Rahu, no doubt. And simply, you can say if anybody has Mercury, Venus, Rahu, this is a Saraswati Yoga. This is called Saraswati Yoga. Whoever has this combination, it is called Saraswati Yoga. The native will be very fast learner. And Saraswati Yoga, even when it comes to Vedic astrology, I read somewhere, from Lagna, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter are in Kendra or Kona, 159 and 4710 houses from Lagna. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter are posited anywhere. They can be in one house or they can be anywhere in 159 and 4, 7, 10, Kendra Kona from Lagna. It is called Saraswati Yoga even in Vedic astrology. So in Brigu Nadi, Mercury has Venus and Jupiter anywhere from it. From Mercury, Venus, Jupiter can be anywhere in 159, 3711, 212. So it is also called Saraswati Yoga. So whoever has this yoga, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, definitely they will study very well. And moreover, this is also multi-millionaire yoga. This is also rich yoga, we can say. Because you see here, Venus is Lakshmi, already we have discussed it, and Mercury is Narayana. This is called Lakshmi Narayana Yoga. Who will get this Lakshmi Narayana Yoga? The native Jupiter. So Jupiter will have knowledge, Jupiter will have money. So definitely he can multiply his money with his talent, with his knowledge. That's why he may become multi-millionaire, we can say. Or he will become rich person. He will become rich and prosperous. So here, whoever has this combination, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, generally these people definitely will pass MS and they will be able to complete MS, MBA, MTech, MSc, and particularly students who are preparing for NEET and IIT examinations, they will pass, they will get ranks. And particularly in civil services, the persons who are going to appear for IAS, IPS will have this combination. So then they will be able to pass those prestigious examinations. So this is Bhahu Vidya Yoga master degree. At least the native will be able to study master degree. Mercury has Venus, Jupiter. The native will be able to do master degree. So one small example, very good example. If we take Arvind Kejriwal example, in his horoscope we can check Mercury is conjoined with Venus, Jupiter. Mercury is conjoined with Venus and Jupiter. So actually, prestigious institution in IIT he studied. That is one thing. And at the same time, he also passed the IRS examination, like our Manoj sir, IRS examination. So these are people, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Saraswati Yoga. That's why he could study in prestigious institution like IIT, and moreover, he will also study. He will also he passed also this IRS examination. And next, higher studies in foreign countries. This is very important. Many people will ask this question. So, will my son go? Will my son go abroad for education or not? Then you have to check. Moon is connected to either Rahu or Ketu. Moon is connected to Rahu or Ketu. Why should we check this? Moon is traveling. Rahu, Ketu, foreign bodies. So that's why if Moon is connected to Rahu or Ketu, definitely the native will go abroad. But in the horoscope, Moon Rahu, Moon Ketu are together. It doesn't mean that the native will go abroad. We have to check other things also. If Moon Rahu Ketu connected to Mercury, the native will go for education because Mercury is education. So that's why now from the perspective of education, so we should check Mercury is connected to Moon Rahu, Moon Ketu. We have to check. That is very important thing. And later, the native will go abroad for education. Native son will go for education to foreign country, or native's daughter will go to foreign country for education. Also, we have to check. If Jupiter is connected to Mercury, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, the native will go abroad. If Sun is connected to Mercury, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, his male child will go to abroad for education. If Venus is connected to Mercury, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, his daughter will go to foreign country for education. So this is we have to check. So Mercury, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, Mercury, Moon, Ketu, generally foreign travel, no doubt. But who will go to foreign travel for education? So is it the native or his children? So if it is Sun, male progeny, if it is Venus, female progeny. That is we have to check. So simply, if you want to predict whether the native will go abroad or not, check Jupiter is connected to Mercury, Moon, Rahu or Mercury, Moon, Ketu. That is one thing. And even Venus is also necessary because Venus is here higher education. So Venus is higher knowledge. If you want to pursue higher studies, so higher knowledge is required here, important. So that's why Venus is important here. Venus is conjoined with Mercury or not, we have to check. So this is foreign travel for education. Here, in the first, we have to check whether the native will pass IAS, IPS, even NEET or engineering, IIT. He will get highest ranks for these examinations or posts. We have to check Mercury is connected with Jupiter and Venus or not. And for research, for to become a scientist, what should be the combination? Mercury should be conjoined with the Sun and Venus, Jupiter and Rahu. Rahu is necessary for to become a scientist. Rahu is investigative mind, analytical mind. Rahu is analytical mind, investigative mind. And Rahu is a planet of secrecy, darker secrets of knowledge. Rahu is a planet of darker secrets of knowledge. So that's why if somebody wants to do research means here they will dig out the darker secrets of knowledge. So that's why Rahu is necessary there. And in the similar way, higher studies for foreign studies, we can say. So foreign studies, if somebody wants to go to foreign country for education, we have to check Jupiter is conjoined with Mercury, Moon, Rahu or Moon, Ketu. That is, we have to check. And now, no education yoga. Mercury, Mars, Ketu are together, there will be no education. If at all Jupiter aspects this combination, then this dosha will be warded off, nullified, and the native may be slow learner, but definitely he will have very good knowledge and at the same time knowledgeable also. Moreover, when Jupiter aspects, he will continue education. Though there may be breaks, he will continue education. So the native will be able to continue his education, though there may be breaks. There may be breaks, but he will continue his education. He will continue his education because Jupiter is there. When Jupiter aspects Mercury, this dosha will be warded up. But as Mars and Ketu denotes obstacles, that's why there may be some break. But he will continue. He will continue and he will also get highest positions. And for example, if you take Bill Gates' horoscope and Mercury, Mars, Ketu are in the same direction, and so actually he was a dropout of university, Harvard University, but he had in those days more knowledge than the Harvard students. So that's why he could invent these computer application software or whatever it may be. So education breaks. Mercury is with Ketu, generally there will be education break. because Mercury is education, Ketu is actually tricks. But Jupiter aspects, this dosha will be warded off. If Jupiter aspects, this dosha will be warded off. And one more thing, you should be able to predict. The clients will be surprised if you predict this change of course due to failure. Some people you see nowadays there is a great passion. The people are very crazy regarding crazy about engineering. So because there are so many engineering colleges have mushroomed. Wherever you see, definitely the native will get engineering a seat in any college, whether it is good or bad, whatever it may be. So if after completion of +2, there are so many opportunities to study engineering because many engineering colleges have been sanctioned by the government. So technical institutions have been encouraged in India. So the government has encouraged technical institutions. So that's why what happens, the people are crazy, particularly the parental aspiration here. If you talk about parental aspiration, every parent thinks that if his son or daughter studies engineering, immediately after 4 years they will settle in their life. That's why they want their children to study engineering. So that's why they admit their children into engineering colleges. But what happens here is, in the first year itself, when they fail in examinations, they will be detained. So the students will lose interest again, and they will discontinue engineering, and they will come out of the engineering colleges and they will join some other graduation courses like a BSc or BCom or whatever, right? So how does this happen? How can we predict this by reading horoscope? So change of course due to failure, either Mercury should be retro or Mercury should be exchanged with any other planet. So we have to check where Mercury is retro or not. We have to check. Mercury is retro or not. We have to check. So in this horoscope, you see, I'm giving one example. So this guy was admitted into engineering college, but he was not interested and failed in first year. Why this happened generally? You see, Mercury is in the house of Venus and Venus is in the house of Mercury. So what happened here? So Mercury is here. Mercury is here exchanged with Venus. Venus is in the house of Mercury, Gemini, and Mercury is in the house of Taurus, ruled by Venus. So there is Parivartana Yoga. If Mercury is exchanged with any other planet, definitely the native will change his studies. Why he got breaks? Because Mercury is conjoined with Mars, retro Mars. Mars is aspecting here, and Mercury is with Ketu. So there is definitely educational break. When it will happen in Gochara, you will learn. Whenever transit Ketu aspects natal Mercury, there will be break if Mercury is conjoined with Ketu or Mars in the natal chart. That is, we have to check. But this man is, why did he, Jupiter is aspecting, then why did he fail? Because due to the Gochara at the time, after his completion of intermediate, when he joined engineering during the study of first year engineering, so he failed. Because at that time, Ketu was aspecting Mercury, that's why he failed. But as Jupiter aspects Mercury, he changed his subject and he studied. He continued his studies. So this is what we have to predict. If Jupiter aspects, this dosha will be warded off. Mercury, Ketu, Mercury, Mars. But here Jupiter is aspecting Mercury, this dosha will be warded off. The native will continue his studies. But the thing is here, Mercury is exchanged with Venus. That's why it lost the aspect of Jupiter, because when Mercury goes to its own house from Jupiter, it will be fourth house. So that's why he failed. That is the reason why he failed. Because Guru Drishti is not here permanent in his horoscope. So because Mercury is here exchanged here, that is the problem. So that is the problem. So how can we predict if Mercury is retro or Mercury is exchanged with any other planet? Then we can say the native may change his course of study. The native may change his course of study. And education failure due to love affair. This is with the Mercury, Moon, Mars, Ketu. Mercury is connected with the Moon, Mars, Ketu. Moon, Ketu is love affair, and Mercury, Ketu is love affair. Moon is cheating, and Mars is here love failure. So Mercury, Ketu is love affair. Moon is here. Moon denotes cheating in love, and Mars is here failure. Moreover, you see these people, whoever has this combination, they will have attend to court sessions also, even police station once or twice, because due to love affairs. Because the lover may file a case against the native, so because he cheated me, he molested me. So like this, she may make a complaint against the native. That's why there will be legal problems also. Mercury, Moon, Mars, Ketu, the native will definitely will have legal problems regarding love affairs. When did this happen? Generally during education, because Mercury is education planet. So this generally Mercury, Moon, Mars, Ketu are together. So during education, they cannot concentrate on studies. So they may fail. That is one thing. Even after, if they have any illicit affair or living in relationship also, the same thing will happen. So the other women with whom he has illicit relations definitely will file a case against him, and he will have to attend court sessions. This is the problem. And if it is love marriage, then it will be broken. So if it is love marriage, for example, Mercury, Moon, Mars, Ketu, love marriage will be broken. Love marriage will be broken.
Sir, I think a recording is not done in this video.
Okay, no problem. Already we have recordings, the same subject. Don't worry. I think, oh no, it is recording. It is being recorded. But there is no space or something it is showing. Okay, let's continue. Don't worry. And when it comes to more languages, this is very important. Some people will speak fluently, and some people will speak very fluent. How does it happen generally? How can we predict? Some people will have knowledge of more languages. So this is actually our former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao horoscope. So we have to check Mercury is conjoined with how many planets. So if Mercury is conjoined with number of planets, then number of languages the native will be able to speak. So let us see here, you see, Mercury is actually retro. Mercury retro means definitely he will speak more than 2 languages, no doubt. Okay. And Mercury is retro. Mercury is conjoined here with the Sun and Mars, 2 planets. And moreover, you see here, this P.V. Narasimha Rao used to speak more than 70 languages when he was alive, when he was Prime Minister. So you see here, Mercury is conjoined with Mars and Sun, 2 planets. So these 3 planets are posited where actually in dual house, double body house. That's why we can multiply. So 3 planets, 3 into double. So it will be 6. So the native will be able to speak 6 languages, because Mercury is 1 language, Mars is 1 language, and Sun is 1 language. So 3 plus 3, 6 languages, because it is posited in dual house, double-bodied house. Dvisvabhava Rasi. Okay, dual sign. So at the same time, Rahu is also aspecting. Whenever Rahu aspects any planets, it will also double those planets. So again, Rahu is also here giving. So here 3 plus we have discussed here, because it is in double house, it will be 6. And as Rahu is also aspecting, it will also multiply. So that's why we can say it is nearly 9 languages. So moreover, you see Rahu is multi. Mercury is with Rahu, the native will be able to speak multi languages. Multi language. Rahu is multi. Mercury is language. So multi languages. So here 3 plus 6 actually 6 languages, and 3 plus 3, 6 plus Rahu is also aspecting. So another 3. So we can say 9 languages. And Rahu is Mercury is aspected by here Saturn and Jupiter. So these 2 languages, 9, 10, 11. And Venus is also aspecting. So 12. So here we have discussed 12 languages. And again you see Venus is with Ketu. Ketu gives 2 or 3 languages. Ketu also gives 2 or 3 languages. Not language, anything, double or triple. It gives triple. So 3 or 2. So that's why Ketu is here connected with Venus. So Venus is here becomes 2 or 3. So then what will happen? 12 plus 3. So 12 plus 3. So it will be 15 languages. And Mercury is retro. That's why again it is aspected by Moon. Moon is here in double bodied. So it will be 2. So how many languages? Total 70. Okay. So Mercury is conjoined with which planets we have to check. How many planets we have to check. So suppose if it is connected with 2 planets, so the native will be able to speak 2 more languages, because Mercury is 1 language and Mercury is conjoined with other planets, so the native will be able to speak more languages. So Mercury is connected with Rahu, more languages, and Mercury is connected with Ketu also, the native will be able to speak at least 3 languages, because Ketu is a triplet. So 2 or 3. Double or dual, double or triplet. So like this we have to check. So the native will be able to hear 17 languages. And once again I will repeat so that you will understand here. In this horoscope, why he had learned 17 languages, I am telling. But in general, people will have only 2 or 3 or 4 languages generally the native will be able to speak. So Mercury is conjoined with how many planets we have to check first. The more planets Mercury is conjoined, the more languages the native will be able to speak. This is the rule. Okay. So here Mercury is 1 language and Mercury is conjoined with 2 planets. So total 3 planets. So there are 3 planets, 3 languages. But whenever any planet, when we are talking about suppose Venus is house. Venus is in double body house, it may be duplex or the native may have 2 houses. For example, Venus in Gemini or Pisces, the native will have 2 houses. Like that, any 2 cars, it may be 2 cars, 2 houses. Like that, here Mercury is in the house of dual house. So that's why the native will be able to speak 2 languages. Mercury is in dual house, the native will be able to speak 2 languages, no doubt. And at the same time, Saturn is in dual house, the native will have 2 professions, at least 2 professions. So like this we have to check. So Mercury is in which house? It is in dual house with the 2 planets, so it will be total 6. Okay. By the aspect of Rahu also doubles these planets. So another 3 planets by Rahu we got. And Saturn and Jupiter both are aspect of Mercury here. So these are 2 planets. So total 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. And Venus is here actually with Ketu, so it will be 3. We can say it will be 2 or 3. So total 6. So next 6 plus 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here it is 14. It is 14. Actually, Venus itself 1 planet and Ketu is triplet. So then it will be 4. Okay. It will be 4. And Moon is here in double house, so it will be 2. So how many planets? 6. It will be 6, 9, 11, 12, 16. So sorry, here 6, 3. So 9, 11. 11 plus Venus is 1, 12. And Ketu gives, for example, 2 planets, triplet. And Moon is in double house 2. So total, so then it will be 17 languages. 6, 3, 9, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, Ketu we can add triplet. Ketu is triplet. Or we can say Rahu is 1 planet. Rahu we did not count, only it doubles, we have discussed it doubled. So then we can say this is 1. Rahu also 1 language. Rahu is also 1 language. So it will be 17. So more than 17, he had said. Not 17 exactly, more than 17 languages. Yeah. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the rule of dual houses will be applicable on all planets. Means you said Venus in dual house
Yes.
will represent 2
cars, 2 vehicles. 2 vehicles and
2 cars, 2 vehicles,
Yes.
or
Yes. Yes.
any more results Venus in dual house can represent?
Yeah, Venus is a car and vehicle. Okay.
Okay, and Venus does not represent spouse.
Yeah, spouse. But we have to check. Venus is not only 1 wife. So Venus is not multiple wives. Okay, Venus is only first wife. So second wife
First wife, and Mercury is second wife.
Yeah, that's why we don't count. Good question.
Yeah. So there was confusion.
Yeah, you are right. And okay, good. And Saturn is there. That is it. 2 sources of income. Saturn is there. 2 sources of income. Like. Okay, good. And continue tomorrow, and the same topic will be continued. And so in our next class, we will check which subject the native will study, and like that. Okay.
Sir, did you send previous videos of last week? Did you send previous videos of last week?
Actually, you see, bad yogas, I sent you material, and at the same time, 1 video is there. That is also I sent you. Okay.
Sir, last week wala please bhej dijiyega, the 22nd and 23rd.
Okay.
Or 23rd and 22nd and 23rd, yes.
Sure.
4 or 5, 24 and 5 video. I
24
think
and
listen to me once. Actually, I have 1 video that that teaches whatever we discuss generally. So I have already sent to you, and you please check once again. I will send. So yogas, bad yogas, that is.
Sir,
So,
bad yogas you sent before that.
Yeah.
But after that,
No. That is what we discussed. Because I asked you to check bad yogas once. So that is
okay,
the same thing what we discussed there. So
okay,
I think it does not our discussion. It may not be our discussion, but the same whatever we discuss in this class, it will be repeated there. It may not be your class, some other's class.
okay,
So anyhow, I will check and I will send. Don't worry.
okay. Thank you.